All right, we are starting the Family Office Club podcast and YouTube episode today with a very special guest. I want to start off by saying hi to all of our listeners, all of our viewers. My name is Andre Sospina, Managing Director here at Family Office Club. And today I have the honor and privilege to interview one of our most incredible members here at the Family Office Club. Migena Agaraj has been with us for 2 years. She's the CEO and founder of Eagles MA, a super dynamic woman that I've gotten to know at our many events. I've learned a lot from her, which is why I had to have her on the show. She's one of our top ambassadors and one of our most active members, bringing a lot of value to our family office community and members. So Migena, thank you so much for being with us today. If you can please just introduce yourself quickly and let us know where you're coming in from today.
I love it. I am signing in from the Bronx, New York. The accent is Albanian, for anyone who's wondering. I always start with born and raised in Albania, live in New York City. And thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. I am humbled and the feeling is mutual, because love is a two-way street, respect is a two-way street, because we can be the most phenomenal people in the world. But when we are faced with objections, with resistance, then we tend to deviate and find another path. And from the first second I was introduced to the Family Office Club, I felt it was going to be an awesome one, even though I didn't know what I didn't know at the time, as most of us don't at the beginning when we sign up. And I always bet on myself, and I gave that opportunity to Migena, to invest in Migena. And the worst that could happen is I don't renew into the future. But fast forward, not only have I been renewing, but I have spoken to so many of my friends about the value that I receive from the club. And that's why I wanted to say that me speaking with a full heart and open heart and transparency about the club is because I am a consumer first, and I get so much more value than the world may know, and it continues to increase. So I just want to say thank you, and to Richard Wilson, and to Jennifer and Holly and Mason and everyone else on the team for continuing to show up for us, to work for us truly, to create these beautiful settings where we can come in as business owners, as students, startups, to find that safe platform to truly connect with other awesome human beings that we would not otherwise have the opportunity to if it wasn't for your hard work and determination and transparency, which is very key. So thank you, and I am so glad to be on your podcast. I know that it's not easy to bring guests on because everyone is just so busy, but I am honored to be with you today and to provide value to your audience, and ask away.
Thank you. Well, thank you for all of that and those kind words. Really appreciate it. Let's definitely talk about you and the incredible things that you're doing. I know from knowing you for the past 2 years that you're a master connector. You're a great communicator. You authentically and genuinely care about people and your network and the people around you. You have a big mission, and I know that you also are a TV host. And work in the realm of television as well, and in the niche of deal making in television. So we're going to definitely have you share more about that. But explain to me more about Eagles MA.
Absolutely. Thank you. So I am born and raised in Albania, and the Albanian flag, for anyone who likes to have a visual, it's a red background with a double-headed eagle. And to give you a better visual, you get to see it right here. My ring has it. And when I open my LLC and you come up with all these names and you want to be creative as a first-time owner, I'm looking around the house. I'm like, oh my goodness, what are we going to call this thing? Because I have pressure from the company on the phone. What's available, what's not available? And I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, look at my hands. Bingo. Let's call it Eagles. Let's call it Eagles because I want to keep that connection to my roots and who I am. But eagles is a beautiful bird, and it's also an American symbol. So it worked out perfect. And that's the idea behind the Eagles MA. The initial vision for the company was for me to hire myself to go to work, even for the companies that didn't know I existed, so I could be this conduit to secure voices in the room, seats at the table for the third-party service providers who would not otherwise have opportunities to meet with building owners, property managers, so they could present their services when contracts were due. And because I have over a decade of experience in the Class A commercial real estate space in New York City, I was a project manager at Goldman Sachs as an area director with over 20 million square foot of space of clients that I maintained, as we call it, client retention, business development, the Federal Reserve, the IRS, the Hearst Corporation, and so many other phenomenal buildings. I would feel the pain, and I would see it in the property managers' eyes, that frustration that either a vendor didn't show up on time, or what they promised they would deliver, it wasn't delivered on time. And over the years, they have contributed so much to me as a person, as a professional. And one day I decided to resign my six-figure job as a director of business development for a billion-dollar company, and went on this journey of self-discovery or rediscovery to find the treasure, like the alchemist, like the shepherd from the book, The Alchemist. And I said, where I can be the most of service to others. And because I love to always honor source, in case you haven't noticed, how do I honor source? I'm gonna go and give back to the ones in close proximity first, and then go outwards. So starting inward, going outwards. And I live in New York for 20 plus years. This is my home. And because of those amazing experiences, I decided that there isn't a better place to start as a business owner than to be of service and value to the ones that contributed to Migena for over a decade, and knock on those doors, virtual and physical. You don't have to worry about trusting and verifying this next partner, this next painter, this next roofer. I got it all covered. All we need is an opportunity to have a seat at the table. Then ultimately you both make that decision. So it's been amazing. But then as people find out that this is a pretty cool concept, as I'm forming more strategic partnerships, now Eagles MA, it's not just a real estate service solution company. It's pretty much all business solutions, because if you're looking for a branding and communications, if you're looking for an organization like Family Offices Club, and you don't know where to begin, I am that consultant that can take time to truly speak from a consumer's perspective directly to your ears as a CEO or a student, and everyone in between. So the vision was that, but now the vision has grown, and it's more of a all business one-stop shop for all your needs in business and life. So that's Eagles.
Excellent. So basically a master connector here. And what do you think led to you realizing you had that ability or that skill, and that, connecting two parties together was definitely the area of focus you wanted to be in?
I would show up at a 1,000 people event in New York City, and I'm not exaggerating. For all of you who are from New York and have been to a New York City event, 500 to 1,000 is pretty normal, especially in the real estate industry. And I would walk in thinking that I would know maybe 5 people, to realizing, not me personally, but others to come to me and ask me, how is it that you know all these people? Because I wouldn't realize that. I would start at the door at 5:30 or 6 p.m. And by the time it's 11 and they're kicking everybody out, I am still saying hello to people. That's all I'm doing. I don't eat, I don't drink, not even a glass of water. I am constantly hugging and saying, good to see you. And then they're introducing me to someone, or I'm grabbing someone by the jacket and be like, hold, don't move. You have to meet this guy. You have to meet this lady. So it pretty much was brought to my attention, because then we would go to lunches and dinners and meetings and events, And they would be like, hey, how did you end up here? Oh, Migena. Oh, you know everybody. Are you like the mayor of New York City? And I'd be like, this is silly. I don't know anyone. Here I am trying to grow our presence in the city, working for that company. What are these guys talking about? Then I would be at a dinner table with 2 people, and then by the time we all left, it was 10 people, because more people would come in. I'm like, bring more chairs. Let's make it like one big party. And they're like, oh, you're here because of Migena. And fast forward, my dear friend Glenn Morshower, who is a 40+ year Hollywood star. He is the general at the movie The Transformers, The 24, and so many others. He calls me a Jewish grandmother. And I said, okay, please enlighten me. He says, because you're a matchmaker. Jewish grandmothers love to put people together and match them. It's exactly who you are, minus the years. So it's something that is noticeable, and nothing makes me happier when I put people together. And my mother always tells me, you never focus on the weaknesses, you focus on your strengths. Always do what makes you happy. Even if the financial reward that we all think we need, but it's more of a want. It's not necessarily a need, it's just a tool to get us from point A to B, just for a little bit, but the rest we do. It's not the money that creates us, right? We create it to serve us. Because she's always been that driving force, my number one fan and supporter. Focus on what you're good at so you can have fun and enjoy it. And nothing makes me happier than walking in spaces, meeting people, shaking hands, getting to know them. And I always lead with, what business you're in? I would love to help you. Tell me more. And I oftentimes find myself where I didn't say anything about me in the entire conversation. And they're like, wait, but what do you do? I said, we can get on a call, but right now let's focus on you, because there's someone I want you to meet, because in that way, I feel like that's when I am benefiting the most and I get the most reward, because 2 other people are now connected. So we have this happy triangle that expands at the same time, where we are all equally happy, regardless of how you see happiness, either financial, spiritual, emotional, like all the rewards that a person can give. And I have a funny story quickly, Andres. When I was at a family office club last September, dressing up the way I like to dress, more of a standout than fitting, even though it's New York City. I'm a true Albanian, true European at heart. So I'm not gonna wear like a black suit or a gray suit for the most part. I'm just gonna wear the red dress with heels, and it's okay, or a pink coat. Like, oh my goodness, where did she come from?
Yeah.
And then you know that because you've seen me. So I'm at a family office club, same day that I wanted to surprise my parents in Albania. I was flying that night, looking myself in the mirror, convincing myself that I don't have time to go to this event because I'm traveling at midnight. But it kept visiting me. I'm making coffee, it's visiting me. I'm like, why am I being visited by this feeling that I have to show up at the family office? Is it guilt that all those people at family office will say, you take a plane, you're in Arizona, you're in Florida, you're in California. You're not gonna go in your own hometown? So instead you can travel 10 hours, but you don't wanna travel 1 hour to go downtown or midtown? So this is Migena speaking to Migena. Get dressed with a dress that I call the uniform, because you don't iron it and it's very easy and it makes me feel good. Flip-flops, heels on the bag, end up at Hilton, get approached by someone. Are you a model? Model wannabe. And fast forward, I'm sharing these dreams and these dreams as a little girl, having my own show, interviewing people. But here I am at this investment opportunity networking event because I'm raising capital. But there's TV and there's money and there's investment. This person was so confused. He's like, what do you really want to do? I said, I want to do it all. Comes back 5 minutes later and says, well, we have a TV show and we think it'd be great to run our red carpet event. I was like, wait, what? No. This is not how this happens. What's the catch? I'm Albanian. And the husband and wife goes, there's no catch. I said, I sound silly. I have an accent. I don't have followings. I've never been on TV. This is me, 6 years old, having my hairbrush as a microphone when my parents and my brother were not home. so I could imagine that I had my own show. I'm like, no, it doesn't happen like this. Long story short, I end up in LA a month later, grabbing the microphone, interviewing billionaires and millionaires and business owners. And that turned into me being an associate producer of an investment TV show. And that's exactly how it happened. So if you want to take away the family office caliber of people, if you want to take away when you show up, your dreams show up for you, if you want to take away when you are truly yourself and you lead with, bless you, Andres, when you lead with who you truly are and not ever pretend to be someone you're not, like whichever takeaway you want to take from this story, it's up to your imagination. But there are a lot of lessons there. And the biggest lesson I want to leave you with that has been my number one formula, which I'm going to give it away today. Your gut feeling never fails you. You, more time than most, fail it. And I'm going to repeat it again. Our feeling, our instinct never fails us. We fail it because we come up with 10 excuses, 50 excuses, 100 excuses. If you are in peace with you and you just pay attention and it talks to you, listen to it, because it's always on point, because it has proven me right over and over. I've failed it a lot and I'm doing a better job not failing it, but I'm not saying that I am not the master of intuition, because sometimes, of course, we're humans and we want to test ourselves and go against it because we're rebellious, of course. But all I'm going to say is listen to your intuition. And if it's telling you that you should show up at that event, you show up at that event. And trust the no. Trust the no, because you will have so many aha moments and you're going to have the universe or God, who, whatever you believe in, wink at you and giggle a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to stop there.
What do you mean by trust the no?
Trust the no, because
the no as in K-N-O-W or the no as in N-O?
N-O. The no, the rejection. Trust it, because I'm looking back at my career. I was devastated. I was disappointed so many times. Why can't they see me? Why can't they give me the raise? Why can't I get this? And I'm like, oh, thank God they didn't do this. Thank God they didn't do that, because all those no's led me to the big yeses. And that's not very relevant to the story with the trust your intuition, but just wanted to add an additional tip for anyone who's listening right now, because you may be in those situations where you hearing this word no a lot. Embrace it, make it into your ally, and you'd actually be surprised at how much cooler it is that they said no to you than yes.
Awesome. Yeah, no, absolutely. I know for our company values, it's kind of aligns with like seeing challenges with optimism. You know, if one door closes, it's because there's a better one that's about to open. So absolutely appreciate you sharing that story. I want to go back to the part about connecting, because I think that for this podcast and YouTube channel and just the club obviously is centered around connecting people. I wanted to know, with all these relationships that you build, all these events that you go to, do you have a system that keeps you organized in order to be able to matchmake? Or are you just going off gut, intuition, and kind of just memory, in order to make these connections and introductions?
It's a combination. It's never perfect. There is no strict formula that we apply, because we all are unique, and with our uniqueness comes a different level of approach, of nurturing the relationship. And I like to say that when you plant a seed and you know what seed you're planting, that's very important, because that determines how often you need to nurture the seed so it turns into a lemon tree, a basil, or a walnut tree. Now, it takes about 174 days for a walnut tree to create the fruit. And it takes about 5 years before you can actually pick up the first fruits. So when I am in these networking events, and I have a point to the story, when you are at these networking events, the best thing one can do is be fully present and listen, not just to like, oh, I hear you. No, truly listen. Who are they? Where they're looking to go? And are you in a position to help them short-term or long-term? Because not everybody we meet, we can service immediately. Perhaps we can be the harvester when he's ready for those walnuts to be picked up 5 years from now. And maybe that's something that you keep on this pocket of your brain. And then you meet another person who has an immediate ask. So based on who everyone is, then you plug yourself accordingly. It's not where you're at. It's never about you. And I think all of us here can agree. It was never about you. It will never be about you. It's about them. Because when it's about them, then it's about you. Because the power of receiving is in the giving. The way you receive, it's in how you are giving yourself, giving your energy, giving an introduction. And I am the person that says, I may only know 2% of the answers as Migena in the world. I am not an expert of many things in the world. However, I know where to get the other 98% of the answers for you, because I focus on the who's, I don't focus on the how's so much, because I've got the how covered. And how do I have the how covered? You do daily check-ins with yourself. Who are you today? Did you lose yourself in the process today? Because you made one more sale or you booked that big client for America's Real Deal. Did your attitude change? Did your ego change? What happened there? Let's go. You and I, Migena in this meeting, one-on-one, closed room, nobody else. So we have the opportunity to lie to each other. We have the opportunity to be transparent. It's a safe space. So what are we going to do? Lie to ourselves, which is criminal. The biggest punishment you can give yourself is you lie to yourself. So that's what I'm trying to say. You got the how covered because you know who you are. You know how you show up in the world. That never changes. Migena is Migena, Andrea is Andrea. We already have that branding covered. Now, who are the who's in my life? I'm not going to call Andres unless my friends need an organizations like Family Office Club. That's when I'm going to truly call him, because he's busy running a business. I'm not going to hit him up with 50 phone calls that could lead to nothing. You got to be respectful and intentional. So this is why I say it's a combination of both, where one, you have a calendar. This is the most powerful tool you'll ever have. And a friend of mine puts it very well. If this tool is not making you $1 million a year, you're doing something wrong. You need to get rid of Verizon or whoever you use. I use Verizon. This is not a commercial. I don't get paid by them to say this, full disclosure, but I'm loyal and I've been with them since I moved to the country. So if this is not making you $1 million, then you're doing something wrong. So here I write Andre's birthday. Andre's birthday is October 15th. I already got that covered because I love that. Why do I love knowing about people's birthdays? It's the most important day in their life. They came into existence. I know I love it when people wish me happy birthday. Mine is February 21st. Now you know it. It's nice when Andrea wakes up in the morning and says, wow, she not only reaches out to me when she wants her friends to learn more about our club, and that's on the professional side, but she actually remembered my birthday. And maybe she was one of the first or the 5 or the 10 or one of the many, or maybe the only one who remembered. You don't know that. Do you know that? I don't. I could be the only person that wished someone their birthday for the whole day. And if that's what you lead with, then that's what you lead with. So the phone, reminders, a very simple spreadsheet of Family Office Club connections, America's Real Deal conversations, and pretty much my beautiful, very simple, very Migena emails, not copy paste, not automations, one person at a time, one connection at a time, because even last night, Glenn Morshower and I were on a Zoom, some other awesome people. He said, I am a big believer that we are one or two people away from getting everything we want in the world. 1 or 2 people away. So now why do you want to go and spread yourself thin and connect with everyone and truly connect with no one? It's not about connecting with everyone. It's about going and meeting 3 to 5 to 10, immediately grab their phone numbers, take a selfie on your phone with them, save it immediately saying, great to meet you. So there is a reminder because we're not computers. And then maybe a week later, a month later, even 3 months later, was thinking of you. Another thing that I do that works very well for me, Andre, is I call it the SMS challenge, which I've been doing since I had a phone. The SMS challenge is pretty much a text message challenge where on a daily basis, without failure, I grab my phone and I like to go from bottom to top. That's just the way I am. Some people start A through Z. I'm more like a Z to A person. I feel like I'm already at the end, working my way up, down, or up, whatever. You get the idea. And I text 3 to 5 friends every day that I have on my connections, thinking of you, wishing you a great day. Happy Tuesday, you got this. And then when they see me, they're like, you embarrass us because you always say hello to us. And we're not good at it. So no simple formula, just one connection at a time. But you know what makes it beautiful? The fact that you know something about them that most people don't, because they never take time, because they're thinking about how to raise $1 million from them or $1 billion, how to get in their pockets. You're not there for that. You're there because you truly want to connect with that person. And you'd be amazed at how many people that one connection is going to bring you. So pretty much all I need to know is one person, because when I know one person, I know their entire ecosystem. And that's how magical it is.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that golden nuggets, multiple golden nuggets. All right. Well, look, this pretty much comes to the end of our member spotlight interview. I want to give you 30 seconds. If you want to talk about the book really quick, but then also I bet you people will have a lot of questions for you. So how can they reach out and how can they contact you? So you got 30 seconds, Migena, go ahead.
Let's do it. Well, 30 seconds is, oh my goodness, just my name takes 30 seconds. I am active on all social medias. So if you'd like to connect with me, all you have to do is send me a DM on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, Twitter even. I am a global focus connector, business matchmaker. I am a public speaker, best-selling authors of 5 different books. One is launching tomorrow. I am a mentor. I have my amazing mentorship program, Migena's 21 C's, that's launching in November. For anyone who likes to know what are the C-letter words that are so magical and changed Migena from a W-2 holder to creating passive income for many out there, including herself, and how to truly connect, because I call it from limited connecting to limitless connections, the art of networking. And pretty much it's very simple. I have a website that for the most part doesn't work because I'm procrastinating. It's askmigena.com. I also have Ask Migena Show, a weekly YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook channel where I bring in awesome guests, and Andre will be on my show very soon. So very simple. Hit me up on all social medias and let's connect.
Awesome. Well, Migena, thank you so much for your amazing energy, for being an incredible ambassador to our club, for bringing so much value to our community, and for being here with us today. So that wraps up this episode of the Family Office Club Member Spotlight. And thank you again.
Thank you, Andreas. Stay.
Join the Family Office Club by visiting familyoffices.com. We look forward to seeing you at our next live event.